Joining now for more on the state of the race, Nina Turner, co-chair of the 2020 Bernie Sanders presidential campaign. Announcement today from the Sanders campaign about not doing a speech in Mississippi, instead going to Michigan. Some people, I think, interpreting that as a kind of cut your losses in parts of the South where Senator Sanders has struggled a bit, particularly in Alabama and South Carolina. Is that a fair interpretation? What would you say to that?
No, they shouldn't see it that way, Chris. I mean, we're still going to have events there. We have some of our national surrogates that are going to be there. Mr. Danny Glover will be there. We have the mayor of Jackson, Mississippi, Mayor Lumumba, as you know, who has endorsed the senator. So there will be activities going on this weekend in Mississippi, particularly in Jackson, Mississippi. So no, they should not interpret it that way.
There's been reporting about the ways in which the Sanders campaign is thinking about its message right now down the stretch. Now it is a two-man race. And there was an ad just cut was showing Senator Sanders with President Obama, and Obama speaking very highly of him, and a sense that some of the message has to be changed a bit to bring in some voters that aren't yet in the Sanders coalition. Do you think that's a fair assessment of where things stand?
Well, our entire campaign has been about building coalition and bringing new people in. As you played the clip of the senator interviewing with Rachel, you know, he talks about that all the time ad nauseum in terms of bringing new people in. What would help the Democratic Party be a vibrant Democratic Party is really having a big tent and bringing people in. So, you know, highlighting that even more and making it very clear, you know, as other folks that even President Obama talked or spoke very highly of Senator Bernie Sanders.
There's a lot of reporting today about Elizabeth Warren and the possibility of an endorsement. Would you welcome an endorsement from Senator Warren? Is that something that you're actively seeking?
Certainly, we would welcome that. It is time for the progressives to coalesce. It is my hope and the hope of many in this movement, you know, even people who supported Senator Warren, their hope, too, is that both senators will come together. The moderates have certainly come together in very strong fashion, and we do need the progressive wing of the party to unite as well.
What is morale like in your campaign? Obviously, it was a whirlwind 72 hours. There was a week between Nevada and South Carolina where Sanders was quite clearly the front runner. There was a question about the viability of Joe Biden heading into South Carolina. Obviously, that big win on Saturday in South Carolina turned things around. Super Tuesday went fairly well, quite well for Joe Biden expectations. How do you feel about where things stand right now?
We're feeling fine, you know, no matter what they throw at us. I mean, Chris, all of the moderates, all of the establishment Dems had to come together to make this happen. Senator Sanders has always been very clear. Our movement has been clear that when you are trying very hard to bend the body politic towards the will of the everyday people of this nation, the status quo gets nervous. And that's what we're seeing. So we are ever more determined. You know, we're still continuing to persist. We are excited about going into the next phase of this campaign. As you know, Senator Bernie Sanders did win Michigan last time. You know, you have the new governor on, Governor Whitmer. Mm-hmm. Senator Sanders endorsed her. She asked him to come out and help her in the general, knowing his position on issues like Medicare for all, even though he had backed Dr. Abdul Saeed, as you know, who is for single payer. He still came out because he knew it was important to defeat the Republican in that race and, you know, trying to proceed or follow, I should say, the governor who was responsible, Governor Snyder, for the Flint water crisis. Senator Sanders, Chris, has been to Michigan many times. Not only did he come into that state to talk to the people who were most impacted by the Flint water crisis, he even came back after that. He stood up against trade deals that hurt states like Michigan and also my home state of Ohio, where people lost countless jobs and are still reeling from that even to this day. So Michiganders voted for Senator Sanders last time, and we're working very hard to win that state again.
All right, Nina Turner, thank you for making time tonight.
Thanks, Chris.